This video is about the math behind buying a home. Yeah, people talk about saving up to buy a house or an apartment. Well, what exactly are they saving up for? Let's say that a house costs $480,000. Nowadays, looking online, I think a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, 1 bath in say Manapan would cost this much, $480,000. Well, you probably don't have that much money in the bank right away. If you have that much cash, good for you. You can just buy the house. You don't have to worry about borrowing money. But for most people, you end up having to borrow money from the bank. Nowadays, in general, when you buy a home, you need to pay some money upfront. So some money you have to pay right away. The rest of the money is what you borrow, and that is called your mortgage. For example, if you have $100,000 in your bank right now, and you have a job, you can put that $100,000 up front, you pay it now. That money is called the down payment. So the down payment is the money you pay right now for the house. The rest of the money you have to borrow for the mortgage. So if your down payment is $100,000 and your home costs $480,000, you have to borrow the rest of the money. So that's how much you're already paying. The rest of that money will be your mortgage. That's how much you have to borrow from the bank. That's the part that you pay back every month. So when you are saving up money to buy a house, you're really saving up for the down payment. But you're also making sure that you're making enough money every month to pay your mortgage. Another example, if a home costs $300,000, could be a house, could be an apartment, $300,000. Let's say that you pay a 20% down payment. Let's use the same for the down payment. Let's say that you can afford a 20% down payment. How much is that? Well, 1% of 300,000 is just 300,000 divided by 100. Remember, percent means divided by 100. That's 3,000. So 20% the 20% is going to be 3,000 times 20, which in this case is $60,000. Another way to look at it, 20% is 1/5. A fifth of 300,000 is 60,000. So that's your down payment. That's how much you can afford right away. Which means the rest of the money you have to borrow, that's the mortgage. That's going to be 300K minus 60K. K means 10,000. 1,000. K is 1,000. So, in this case, your mortgage would be 240,000. So once you've figured out your mortgage, that's how much money you're borrowing right now and paying back later, you'll be paying every month to the bank, to the people that lend you money. Actually, what really happens is banks will lend you the money, and then they'll usually sell your mortgage to some other company, so you end up paying to another company. But the point is you pay every month for your mortgage. The guideline they say is that you want to make sure that you're paying no more than 28% is the maximum, 28% of your monthly income is the maximum amount you want to pay for mortgage. If your mortgage ends up being higher than 30% of how much you make, your house is probably too expensive for you to buy. You would want to buy a cheaper house at that point. Types of mortgage. The most common types of mortgage are either 15-year or 30 years. They're usually, and they could be fixed rate, or they could be adjustable rate. Fixed means that the interest is always the same. So you know exactly how much you're paying every single month. Right now I'm paying a fixed rate mortgage, so I know exactly how much I have to pay every month for my mortgage. If you have an adjustable rate mortgage, that means the interest can go up or down depending on the economy. So usually you pay every month for either 15 or 30 years, depending on how quickly you can afford to pay back your mortgage. In general, 15-year mortgages have lower interest rates, so you pay less. Why? Because if you can afford to pay back in 15 years, it's less risky. The bank only has to wait 15 years for you to pay back the house, pay back the money you borrowed. The longer the mortgage, the more likely that something will happen to you, you lose your job, something happens, that you can't pay it back. So 15-year mortgages are less risky for the bank, so the interest rates are going to be lower. That's it for now.